election. A key concern raised was the persistent specter of electoral violence that has marred recent by-elections, or elections in general. The NPP once again expressed our disappointment at the failure of the Ghana Police Service and the Allied Security Services for overseeing the barbaric electoral violence that was occasioned in Ablekuma North by surrogates of the National Democratic Congress to New Patriotic Party senior officials. You recall the incident with the Honorable Howard Kumson, our Deputy National Organizer, Mr. Chris Loyce, and many, many people in Ablekuma North in the 19th polling station rerun. Despite the myriads of clear and overwhelming video evidence that you have, that individuals have from Ablekuma North, which have been widely circulated on social media and traditional media, the Ghana Police Service has failed to make any significant progress in apprehending the real perpetrators to face the full rigors of the law. Now I think we hear some 8 people have been arrested, but the point is that the people involved in that undertaking are more than the 8. After the New Patriotic Party demanded full-scale investigation into the incident, the Ghana Police Service gave assurances of impending arrest of the culprits. A few days later, the police administration surreptitiously announced the arrest of some faceless and nameless culprits. To our utmost surprise, these faceless and nameless thugs who assaulted former ministers, women, and members of the New Patriotic Party were granted bail by the police on our blind side. On our blind side. Again, we reference the public statement made by the NDC Deputy General Secretary, my good friend Mustafa Bandi, in relation to the Akwatia by-election. In this, he made very threatening statements regarding the police being in position to cause arrest of NPP officials who are wanted by the police. At the meeting with the police, the NPP asked the police administration whether they had any warrant for the arrest of any NPP person, and the IGP's response was that no such warrants exist. Nevertheless, the New Patriotic Party has very reliable information and intelligence that the NDC intends to hide behind the guise of national security to terrorize some residents and voters in Akwatia and during the by-election. It is instructive to note that the police administration has indicated their deployment of 5,000 servicemen for the Akwatia by-election. Despite the IGP's unequivocal assurance that the Ghana Police Service does not need any military support to maintain law and order, the famous Richard Jakba, my namesake, who has been appointed as the Director of Operation at the National Security, has been seen preambulating the Akwatia constituency with soldiers and reportedly threatening some indigents and residents to leave town before the by-election in their own interest. Upon the assurance of the IGP, we want to make it abundantly clear that any soldier involved in the Akwatia by-election will be considered and dealt with as a thug, or in a manner as a thug. We therefore call on the President, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and in whose responsibility, and on whose shoulder the responsibility of the security of the state rests, to call Richard Jakpa to order and ensure that no soldier meddles in the Akwatia by-election. We are also reliably informed that the NDC has been training some of the thugs they used or deployed in Abdulmanaf parliamentary rerun under the guise of national security and intends to clandestinely clothe them in police uniform to deploy them during the by-election. The NDC and the Ghana Police Service must know that as a party that has just exited government in less than a year, we have our eyes and ears on the ground and on them, knowing what the NDC is noted for. The IGP has also assured us that the police have completed their deployment plan and will make the lists of their deployed officers available to the various political parties. On the honor of the IGP, the NPP demands the requested list of the senior officers to be deployed to each electoral area and the regional commanders who will be assisting them. We also request the IGP that all police officers on duty for the election must wear their official name tags, for easy identification and the avoidance of infiltration by the thugs that are planned to be included. We make this reasonable request with the hindsight of the police brutalities on the non-violent Let My Vote Count Alliance demonstrators in September 2015, where several demonstrators were trapped and mercilessly assaulted and one lost his eyes in the process. Learning from the unresolved incidents from the Abdulmanaf parliamentary rerun, the New Patriotic Party will defend itself. The New Patriotic Party will defend itself if the police fail to do so. It is rather interesting. So on the matter of Akwatia, these are the facts that we want to share with you. The clear evidence is that the New Patriotic Party will win that election, and as a result, the NDC, who surprisingly were just mourning, and all of us joined them in mourning our brothers who we lost in that August 6th helicopter crash, have suddenly swung into their violent mode, activated a certain heightened level of violence in Akwatia, and are employing all sorts of schemes in Akwatia merely to create violence and state of insecurity in the constituency for purposes of forcing victory out of that election. And we are clear in our minds that the police, Mr. IGP, has his job cut out for him. And the intelligence we are collecting from the ground is that the NDC is determined to use violence in that election. And we are concerned about that because we're going to Abdulmanaf with a view of replacing the MP, our brother Ernest Kumi, who we have lost under very painful circumstances. And the situation worsened by the August 6th catastrophe that befell all of us as a country. We're still in a mourning state. The bereaved families haven't quite dealt, perhaps remotely dealt with the loss that they have felt. And we have the National Democratic Congress angling itself and preparing itself in a manner to perhaps visit another chaos on Ghanaians in Akwatia constituency. We are clearly opposed to the violence, and we are approaching this election in a very somber mode. We invite the National Democratic Congress to shed all these evil plots, shelve them, and come to Akwatia and make a democratic case to the people of Akwatia that indeed they deserve to have a parliamentary representation in that constituency on merit, not on the back of violence. And so we are clear in our minds, and we'll call on the IGP and the military high command to ensure that they are vigilant and ensure that such infiltration, which we have learned that the NDC is plotting in Akwatia, does not happen, such that Akwatia by-election will be peaceful, and all of us would at the end have a representation that the good people of Akwatia deserve, and who can serve their best interests as it's supposed to be. And we'll use this opportunity to send condolences once again to the families of our brother Ernest Yakubi and to our brothers who we lost on August 6th. Thank you very much. I think we'll do a very brief summary in chief. In some way, Tuesday, Akwatia by election, now the attendee say New Patriotic Party NP NST Kumia free or no.
That was a press conference by the Director of Communications for the NPP, Richard Anyagba, on the party's concern with regards to the arrest of a journalist with Wontumi TV in Kumasi. The party subsequently spoke about security situation as it heads into the Akwatia by-elections next Tuesday, that is September 2. We keep an eye on this development and bring you more as and when we have it. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Channel 1 TV.